Okay, guys, so welcome to today's lesson, which is two maps. How to write the two maps in the writing task 1 of the exam. So let's go and I will show you an example only. So this one, it's a pretty easy map. It says that the maps below show a coal mine and its redevelopment into a visitor attraction site. So it was a coal mine, but it has changed to a visitor attraction site. We just first look at what has changed and what has remained the same, and then plan how to write. So first, it was a coal mine, and the changes that we see is that the staff change room and lunchroom are just merged, and instead there is a museum right now. But other stuff like the mine site entrance, West 1, West Side 2, medical center, they are all the same. The buildings, you see that they are the same, but only they are being used for a different purpose right now. And the car park are still the same, and they are car parks, but only a children's playground is added in the far southeast side. So this is it about the differences. So we just planned because there isn't a lot of differences, like a lot of changes hasn't been made to this. So we can just write the main stuff and then the more details in one paragraph. So we decide to write the overview about the main about one of the main things that is that nothing has changed, like most of the stuff hasn't changed, but only how they are being used has changed. And then the staff change room and lunchroom are changed to a museum, and then a children playground is added to the a corner. So let's go and see. So the given maps illustrative, the first paragraph, as I said, it's always the summary of what is given. So we say the given maps illustrate a visitor attraction site. I start from what it looks like now. So it illustrates a visitor attraction site and how it looked like as a coal mine before being redeveloped to its current form. So first, I say the main changes and similarities. Overall, the main structure of both maps are the same, but every part is being used for a different purpose. The only real change is that the only real change in the structure is that a children's playground was added in the far southeast. The lunchroom and staff room are gone and replaced by a bigger museum. So the main points are said in the overview part, and then the last part with more details is that, so the West Side 1 and 2 are changed to a driving circuit and a pond respectively. So as we see here, these two are changed to a driving circuit and pond. And then the medical center has been replaced by a cave. So medical center by a cave. We also name them these ones, and the children playground and all of these in here. So the staff rooms and the lunchroom, however, are merged and replaced by a bigger museum. A children's playground is added on the far southeast of the attraction site. Moreover, the entrance and the car park of visitor attraction site are still functioning the same as in the past. So this is writing for this map. It's pretty easy, but if there are a lot of changes in the second map, when you see the other maps in exam or when you're practicing, you can make 2 paragraphs, one about the differences and one about similarities, or you can make like 2 paragraphs, and one would be talking about the first map and the second one would be talking about the second map. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can we change the paragraph second and third in the
Sorry, you were cutting off.
Okay. Can we change the place of paragraph 6 and enter?
If it's the overview and the details, no. So the overview should be in first, because once you say the details, then people won't want to read the main points, right? So you first say the main points and then the more details.
Okay. And in the second map, there was a walking track. What about that? You didn't mention that in the writing. Walking track. Sorry, ma'am, I can't hear.
Is it better now?
Yes, madam. It's okay now. Okay now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. So
Sorry, madam.
yes.
I didn't have voice that part that there was walking track. I couldn't get that one because there was no voice
Oh,
in the slide.
okay. I just about the slide, I just said that yeah, there was a walking track, but you don't always have to talk about all the details, right? You just say the main points and what really says the differences and the main features, but you don't always have to say everything because it will take a lot of time. And also you don't, yeah, you only have to write 150 words, but it's your choice. You can add that too.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So about the practices, the practice 2 says, study both maps of the island now and 20 years ago and discuss these two questions with a partner. What features have changed? What features have remained the same? So this is 20 years ago and this is now. This practice just prepares you for how to compare what has changed and what has remained the same, because in the writing of two maps, you will need that. And then for this task, it is important to use prepositions of place appropriately. So yeah, of course, the prepositions should be used appropriately. And then the third one says, think about your own town. What changes have taken place over the last 10 years? Write sentences using some of the verbs in the box. These verbs are really useful for the maps because you see it can explain the map, like how the buildings and stuff have changed. For example, here is modernized, replaced, expanded, increased, knocked down, built, renovated, developed. So these are some verbs. So do the exercise 3, make some sentences about your own town and what has changed and reuse these words. If you don't know, you can just make some things up. And then the fourth exercise says, read this simple answer and correct the errors that you find. There are 5 spelling mistakes and 5 wrongly used tenses. So this is a practice for the tenses and the spellings. As you know, spellings are really important in the maps and in all the IELTS. So just be careful of that. So as it says, you need to focus on grammatical accuracy in the writing test, of course. So about coherence and cohesion, study these 2 maps which show how Mumbai has changed. So Mumbai in 1845 and present day Mumbai. So how it has changed. Wow, a lot of change. So it says 2 other aspects you must take into consideration in the exam are coherence and cohesion. Coherence and cohesion are also really important. It has 25% of the mark in exam. It says that coherence is it easy to understand? Are your ideas organized in a logical way? So if you go to the different parts and just like it would be hard to understand what you have written about, you will lose more for this. But coherence, as the easier it is to understand and how it has been organized, if it is organized in a logical way, you will get more scores. So as I said earlier as well, when you are making like compound and complex sentences, be careful that they make sense. And the more simple it is, the better, so people can understand that. You saw in the example that I showed you, it's very simple, right? And it gets a good score. And then the cohesion, are your ideas connected together well? So how you connect your ideas are also important, coherence and cohesion. These are practices for that. So this says, read these sentences which compare 2 maps. For example, the first one is, these 2 maps show that since 1845, Mumbai has changed considerably. Second one is, there are railway lines which run through the central area, as do many major roads. And a lot of other ones, you can read them at home. And the 9th one, at the moment, the order of the sentences in exercise 8 is not coherent or logical, making the meaning difficult for the reader to understand. Put the sentences in a logical order by answering these questions. So this one, it explains 2 maps, but they are not in order, and the coherence and cohesion is not really good in this one. So just keep answering these questions and it will help you make the introduction and all the writing. and to make it look more logical. So the 10th one, look at how the devices in this table are used in the sentences in exercise 8. So these are some for example, writing, adding an idea, furthermore, also, and for similarity, as do, highlighting in particular, and all of these, like in contrast, as opposed to. For summary, we use overall. So just go here on exercise 8 and some of the words like furthermore and like they show how the sentences are being connected, which help you also practice your writings. And here are some more of those words that we can connect our sentences with. You can study these and they will be helpful. And for the last exercise, and your main homework will be use the information and language from this lesson to answer this writing part 1 task. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. So let's see what it is. Wow. So this is also, it looks really simple. Just try your writing on this one. It says that the following maps show some of the changes that have taken place in Dubai in recent decades. So this is Dubai, and just few apartments and few buildings have been added, and then cars. So it's pretty easy. Try to write this one, and you guys exchange it between yourselves, okay? And then check how you both wrote it. Okay, our time is up. Do you guys have any questions?